I love these games. These spectacle adventure games are so awesome. So here you've got, if I tap right, you'll see her animate in to anticipate that action. When you jump to the left off that ice, she animates and jumps through a portion, and then it cuts into the scripted sequence of Jonah catching her and pulling her up. Hey guys, and welcome to Design Run. We're going to do things a little bit differently today, and the reason that we're going to do things differently is because there is now 100 of you subscribed to the channel. At the point of me recording this, there's actually, I think, 122 of you on the channel, and that's awesome. We hit a 100 subscriber milestone, and I thought, that's awesome. There's 100 people that are willing to dedicate some time to watching my videos, and hopefully you guys are getting something out of it. Thank you so much for watching my content, and I thought we could do something that might be a little bit more might be a little different, might be a little more free-flowing. So I thought what we might do is we might play through some Rise of the Tomb Raider, and as we're going through, I'll just basically just talk about the design, different things that I pick up and that I see, that sort of stuff. Sounds a little different, that's normal. That's because I'm not where I would normally record. I guess let's just jump into it. So we're going to go new game, and we'll go an empty slot, and we'll go to... we'll go Tomb Raider, just because that's a normal difficulty. I wanted to check the difficulty settings, but yeah. I won't talk during the cutscenes either.
What makes someone reach beyond the boundaries of human experience to face the unknown?
But
As children, we question
I may
the
make
world
jokes
around us.
occasionally.
We learn, we accept, and gradually we lose our capacity for wonder. But some do not. The explorers, the seekers of truth. It is these pioneers who define the future of mankind.
The others, they're done. No amount of money's gonna get them through those mountains.
The lost city's up there, somewhere.
That's gonna be a hell of a climb.
I'm not turning back.
I know.
You should stay here with them.
Not a chance. You're almost there. Wait till you see this view, Lara. Take my hand.
Thanks. Look at that.
It's amazing. But the snow coming off those peaks is a bad sign.
The trail leads up the mountain.
Okay, I guess we'll jump back into it here.
Beyond from the summit.
All right, let's take it easy here.
We've got a bit of a lens flare, actually,
This wind is crazy.
coming off the bloom from the light in the background. We've also got on the snow, you can see that I believe it's a height map, is as you're walking through it, it's deforming so that it leaves these trails in the snow, which is pretty cool. Horizon Zero Dawn actually has some really awesome snow deformation logic behind it as well, but yeah. And I like the snow effect too, which I'm guessing is probably an area effect that's just along this section, but the snow sweeping past it, and the I guess you'd say like the mist that's flying up off the edges of the ridge here. If I go back a bit further, you can see it starts flying back up, and then it stops as I get a bit closer, which is pretty cool.
Hey, even if we don't find anything up here, your dad would be proud.
I know, but I have a good feeling about this.
I love these games. These spectacle adventure games are so awesome. Like, because they're so specifically well
Oh, shit!
well tuned, and well designed. There's so much stuff in here that you can just point out and be like, that's an awesome example of design. That's an awesome design consideration. They're very specific to like a linear narrative game that's predominantly story focused, and obviously they're just about always single player. But they're just awesome.
That was close.
So
Are you all right?
you can see here you had to do the quick time event to do the pick into the ice, to slam the pick into the ice to stop. But then you fall over the edge and you've got you're left here, which is where you can start playing again. And on the right hand side you saw the tooltip. So you're in a very specific situation. They give you a tooltip that pertains to that specific situation to teach you something about the mechanics. And so as soon as you fall over, it's like move is left and right. And so you're hanging, so you can't misconstrue that as something in particular. And so you know to move. As soon as you get over to the edge, you see her animate around. We get another tooltip. Hold right, like left. I think like left stick to the right, and press X to jump. And then you've got like a little explanation of what that actually means. And so if you do that, you see what happens.
No!
And then you have the square thing pop up as well, to say to press square.
Back out!
Are you sure?
And
Just stay put!
then more tooltips. So that's just a super quick tutorial on how to climb. Very specific. You can't do any, like there's only one answer to each part of that solution, which is jump to the right, move across, jump to the right, up, up. Okay, we've jumped to the right a couple of times and we've jumped up a couple of times. Hopefully the player knows how to climb now. And then it's like, here's an opportunity to climb on a craggy wall. As we get close to it, another one, axe attach, press square, move. And so just we're teaching the player very simply the most basic mechanics that they're going to need to play the game. We've got like another section. This ice sheet bends around, and because it bends around, it means that the player has to teach themselves to move to the left and then move to the right and then move to the left to get around that section where they can't climb. And so they inherently teach themselves that they can move left and right laterally on ice with the pickaxes without needing to, without the developers needing to pop up another tooltip or tell them that they can move around. And then obviously you can jump to the left. You get some slow motion to tell you that you're expecting to do an action and just give you some time to process. You can press square to X attach back in, and then we keep going.
I need to jump across!
Yeah. Okay. Now grab my hand.
The camera rotates to frame this up.
Gotcha. Shit, Lara. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And that bit was really cool too. So that was an example of something that they do in these games all the time. And particularly I've noticed when I was playing through this one, trying to do this video the first time,
Looks like we gotta go through.
because trying to do this the first time, they do it quite a bit in this. And what that was I'll go back and show you, but when you jump to the left off that ice, she animates and jumps through a portion, and then it cuts into the scripted sequence of Jonah catching her and pulling her up, and that lets the developers cut on something that's very logical to transfer into a scripted sequence. So it sometimes, like, the idea is that you don't want someone to be like running around in an area that's off on, say, like the right hand side, and then cut into a cutscene with them in the middle near the door, just as an example. You want to make them do something and then cut on that action so that logically the progression of moving from the play into cutscene makes sense, because they're... So, for example here, she was jumping, the player had to jump to get past that section, which lets them cut. It's logical then that the cutscene would be her falling and getting caught by Jonah, and it's all logically consistent, and so you don't get broken out of the immersion like you can sometimes when random things happen where you cut and suddenly in a cutscene you're in a different place, or you've got a different sword, or you're wearing different gear or something like that. Yeah, good. And they do it a lot. You'll notice it probably later on.
Not bad.
I'll do a couple of sessions of this, but you'll notice it later on.
Lost City.
I know this is a long shot, but that old tracker said he saw ruins up in these mountains.
The real question is, why would an ancient race want to live on top of a mountain?
This
And how did they get it up here?
place, I do it.
I just hope Trinity hasn't beaten us to it.
Storm's getting closer. We have a couple hours at most.
Should be enough time. We're almost to the top.
Some awesome scenery. Wading through, different animation for wading through thick snow. It's pretty cool.
What do you think?
We're close to something, Jonah. I can feel it. Just this last stretch to the top.
All right. Let's see what's up there. Feels pretty solid here, but keep close to the wall.
Okay. Looks like we climb from here.
Keep your eyes open for falling ice.
Right. You
This game transitions really smoothly back into play as well, like then just 2 seconds ago. Right, and also here you've got, if I tap right, you'll see her animate in to anticipate that action. That kind of lets you know what you've got to do, but it also means that if I tap right and press square, like if I was to just tap right and press square, then there'd be a small amount of animation anticipation for the action that she was about to do, which is to jump. And so if I hold right, she winds right up, and it makes sense. But if I just tap right, come on. Oh, sorry, I had to press X, not. If I just tap right, she kind of leans a little bit to the left. Oh, leans a little bit into the action, and then obviously she jumps, and you can press square to latch in, which I didn't do.
Pretty solid here, but keep close to the wall.
Okay.
Trying to talk and
Looks
concentrate
like we
and play a
climbed
game and
Keep your eyes open for
keep
falling
3
ice.
things on your head at once.
Right. You ready?
Let's do it. There's lots of loose ice up here.
Let's take it slow and steady. Just stay with me.
Look out!
Oh, shit.
That was close.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Jonah, hold on!
Shit! I'm going to dig in. Can you make it across?
I can make it!
I believe in you.
Whoa! Holy shit! I don't think I can make that jump.
Stay there! I'll anchor a line for you at the top.
All right, I'll give you some slack. Almost there, Laura. You got it.
I wonder whether they've actually got the rope attached to something, like, off screen, or whether it's actually attached to Jonah and just hanging around the... I can't really... No, it's not. Is it still attached to Jonah? It is. It's just clipping through the rocks. Cool.
Jonah! We made it! I see the ruins! Oh god!
Why didn't you climb up over the edge before letting Jonah know?
Laura, can you hear me?
Screen space effect there for the blur.
I'm gonna pull you back up.
Like a post-processing effect.
There! Over there! Quick! Swing me to the other side!
Okay, here goes.
This is another one of those things that's awesome about these games is they have the ability to do all these crazy different types of gameplay. Like now there's a bit just so that I can swing and stick my little pickaxe into the ice again. Like it's the sort of thing that indie devs don't have the money to do a lot of, but it's cool. It's really awesome. It really like kind of brings you back into the experience. I've always wanted to race an avalanche. So again there, that was one of those situations where they cut, they turn around and show you that avalanche smashing out that previous platform that you're on. But they cut on the jump so that it makes sense for you to land on it and them to switch up that camera angle. I don't know why all the rocks suddenly fall off the side of the mountain. Like, these are big chunks of rock too, not small amounts of rock. Does this normally happen during an avalanche? Good old sign drop. Boom. Love that. There's going to be a bunch of cutscenes now, so if you want to swap out to the next one, then cool. We'll end it after a couple of these cutscenes. And come back for the next one.
It is the greatest cruelty of life that we're all too swiftly taken from it. We age, we decay, we die. But what do we leave behind? Bones?
Facebook statuses. Facebook
What of the
statuses.
soul?
YouTube videos.
Does it endure beyond our earthly existence? I believe it does. A truth lies at the heart of many myths and stories. A truth not of science, but something more profound. The key to unlocking everlasting life. I may have found the next piece to the puzzle, but I'm not alone in this search. They're following me, watching my every step. I know them by name now. Trinity. An ancient, violent sect with designs on controlling the future of humanity. I must proceed carefully for the sake of my family. If anything were to ever happen to Lara or Anna, I could never forgive myself.
Like, maybe following in your footsteps? Does that count? Oh, too late. I'm loving the whole, like, hoodie jacket thing. Like, she's wearing a hoodie, but she's also got a jacket over it. I need 2 jumps. That's how wet it is.
It's me. Hannah! Oh Oh God, I'm so sorry. What are you doing here?
I saw the gutter press was attacking you again. I thought you could use some company.
No lies. Were you followed?
Followed? Of course not. What's going on?
I think I found the tomb.
Oh, you can't be serious.
The myth of the prophet is real.
You
Dad
always
was right.
do this.
Lara, your father was...
You're always
unwell.
just
No.
finding
He was close
tombs.
to a great discovery, tangible evidence of the immortal soul.
I loved Richard. I would have married him if he'd asked. But he was a broken man. I don't want to see you end up like him.
But Anna, he was right. It was everyone else who was wrong. The tomb's in Syria.
Syria? Oh God, Laura, no. This is madness. Get your life sorted. Go home to the manor.
You know I can't go back there.
But this obsession ruined your father.
I saw something. Something I can't explain. Now I understand what Dad was going through.
It's all fairy tales. Nonsense. Don't go down this road. You know where it leads.
It's the only thing that makes sense to me now. I'm going to find the prophet's tomb, Anna.
Hey, we're heading into a war zone now. We better be sure about this.
We're close. There should be an oasis in the canyon just ahead.
You're wasting
I love that.
time. There's nothing out
They're
here.
driving around like the outside of
Driving.
Syria, just along the border.
It's your money.
Classic.
Something isn't right.
Oh, that's just local militia.
You told someone, didn't you?
They paid better than you. Shit! They weren't supposed to shoot at us!
Get us out of here!
Shit!
When you double dip, you get lit.
No, no, no!
That's what you get. I always physically feel it. Obviously, the screen shake makes it a little bit more intense, but I always physically feel it when characters fall down like that. Oh,
No turning back. It has to be here.
so I'm going to say one last thing just out of interest, and then we'll stop here. But I always wonder, if you go back and watch the section where they're driving in the car, there's a clock there, and it says 8:37, I think, or 8:38. And I'm like, how accurate, like, do these games make it? Like, I'm guessing this is pretty accurate. They're like, we want it to be set in November, which means that the sun sets around this time. We want it to be set at sunset, so that clock needs to be like 8:37. That's roughly when it sets in November. Not 8, not 9, 8:37. Anyway, we'll leave it here. I'll do another couple of these to go through a bit more of the game, and I'll release them like at a day, like once a day or something like that. So if you want to watch more, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments section. And I guess if the next one's up, I'd appreciate it if you went over and watched it. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and I'll see you if you decide to watch the second one.